Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are back with a TBR video, TBR for April. And I promised Emry that she would be able to do it with me today because I told her she could do it with me last month and I forgot, and then the month before that I forgot. So today's the day she gets to do it with me. So let's talk about what I read from my TBR last month. I did better than I thought I would actually. So I read The Worst Wingman Ever, The Cabin on Slaughter Hill, except for I DNF'd that one. That was an audiobook and I just wasn't into it, so I DNF'd it. 7 Days in June, I actually started that one, but I just wasn't in the mood for that book for some reason, and so I stopped reading it after like 3 pages and decided to read something else. Fortuna Sworn. Okay, so this book I actually might unhaul. So I was going to start this one, but then I kind of did some research on the rest of the series, and the series is really, really long, but one thing that I found out was the last books in that series are like 800-page books or 700-page books, which I don't know if I want to go down that path. I have plenty of other series that I want to read that are long, and so I just don't know if I want to go down that path with Fortuna Sworn, so I may unhaul that book actually. Heard It in a Love Song, I read that one. Half a Soul I'm actually reading right now, so that one is currently being read, and then Coma I did not read. So technically I read 4 books, though one of them was a DNF, so I think I did pretty good. Let's go ahead and start with our first pick. The last book that I added to my Goodreads want to read list. So this means I'll probably have to buy something on Kindle because I don't know if I'm going to go to a bookstore and buy it. So let's see what I added to my Goodreads TBR, the last book that I added. I literally don't know what it is. And I think I just recently added something. Okay, so Goodreads. Where's my profile? Books to read. What did I add? I'm scared. Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. So she actually wrote this series, the Bargainer series, which I have in a bind up. This thing is freaking humongous. This is like 4 books or 3 books in one. And I added Bewitched, and I don't know why, I just thought it sounded interesting, and everyone loves Laura Thalassa that reads her. And so I'm going to go ahead and put Bewitched on my Kindle. So I'll put, how long is this book anyways? 443 pages. So Bewitched it is. Interesting first choice. Make it good. A cover buy. So that means I bought the book because I thought the cover was pretty. Is that something that you would do, you think? Yeah. Okay, so let me look around and see what's on my shelf. Okay. I found 2 books that I bought based on the cover. One of these is really, really old, but I've heard such fantastic things about it, and that's Sorcery of Thorns. Now this is actually a cover by Charlie Bowater. She got really, really popular in like the YA genre there for a while. And this and The Enchantment of Ravens have the best covers as far as like her art goes. And I just love how it's kind of metallic-y. But there was something about this cover that I loved when it first came out, and so I bought it. And I've been wanting to read it lately because I've heard really, really great things. I almost feel like it's kind of having a resurgence. Like it was really popular when it came out, then, you know, people kind of started forgetting about it, and now it's like coming back. So it's that one, or this one is one that I've really liked. So this is The Death of Jane Lawrence. I bought this book literally because of the cover. Like I saw it and I was like, I am gonna buy this. Hopefully I like it. I think it's like a horror thriller, but I actually haven't heard the best things about this book. So I'm kind of afraid to read it, and it's why I haven't read it yet, because I just haven't heard the best things about it. But I still want to keep it because it's so pretty. But I think I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to pick Sorcery of Thorns. And that puts 2 fantasies on my TBR for this month, so I'm not going to pick any more fantasy because I don't like to read too much fantasy because it burns me out a little bit. So I'm going to have this one and Bewitched. And those are going to be my 2 fantasies. So I think I'm going to like this one. I have a really good feeling about it just because people have been saying really good things about it again lately. So that's going to be the one. And by the way, I picked 7, so this is 3 out of 7. Chelsea chooses. So my cousin Chelsea, she has to choose out of 3 books. So I pick 3, and then she has to pick which one I read.
Do we call her?
Well, I won't call. Well, maybe I'll FaceTime her. That one? Really? Out of all of them, that's the one you're gonna pick? Oh my god, okay. So I picked One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I kind of hope she picks this one. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. This one will be good too. And then I let Emry pick one. She picked Vessel, which is a sci-fi. This actually looks pretty cool. It's like about a girl who like goes into space and then she comes back. I don't know. It's something weird, but I've heard really good things about it. And it's not super long. So I might really like this. Who knows? So that's her choice. This wouldn't have been on my list, but you know.
Hello?
Hi. Do you mind being in my YouTube video right now?
Okay.
Okay. So we picked the prompt, Emry picked it, that you have to pick what book I read out of 3 books.
Okay. Okay.
So one of them Emry picked and then the other 2 I picked. So the first one is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. It's like a romance about like a football player guy and she's like the like assistant or something and they fall in love. Then One True Loves. So her husband dies, she has to get over her husband, and then she meets a new guy and they fall in love, but then she finds out her husband actually didn't die.
Oh, dang.
Would that be weird?
Yeah.
And then Vessel, which is a space sci-fi where she like goes to space. I'm not exactly sure what this is about, I kind of forgot. But it's a sci-fi.
I say number 2.
Number 2. I thought you might pick this one. Because it's just, when I read the synopsis.
At first it was like, uninteresting, and then you got the twist. And then like, what does she do?
Yeah. So, it's this one. She didn't pick yours, Emry. She picked the sci-fi.
Oh, that was my second choice.
Yeah. Alrighty. She picked mine. She
back.
picked mine.
No. A book
A book I've lost interest in. I feel like I've gotten this one multiple times. Okay, a book I've lost interest in. I hate this one. So Emry picked this one out, and the reason I knew that this would be a good one is because when she picked it, I was kind of like, oh, that one? And it was kind of because I forgot about it, haven't really thought about it since I picked it up. And it's not necessarily that it sounds bad, there's other books that I always want to pick before this one, but why not read it now, you know? And it's a YA, so it should be a pretty quick read. So it's A Very Large Expanse of Sea by carahamelief, and she wrote Shatter Me, the Shatter Me series, which I read that whole series. And I feel like her writing is pretty like digestible and like really quick to get through. Like the Shatter Me books, I literally could read in like 2 days. They're super, super fast to read. So I feel like this might be like that as well. So this is, I'm gonna read you guys the first paragraph. It's 2002, a year after 9/11, and Shirin has just started at yet another school. It's an extremely turbulent time for the world, but also for someone like Shirin, a 16-year-old Muslim girl who is tired of being stereotyped. So it sounds pretty interesting, and one that I was really interested in at one point. I just kind of forgot that it was on my shelf, and I always pick up other things. So we're gonna go with this one. I've heard actually this is a really, really good book, so I think I'm gonna like it. It's just one of those books I forgot about.
Pick the long ones.
Ooh. Oh man, do you know what? This would have been perfect for A Dowry of Blood, which I read that book this month, even though it wasn't on my TBR. It was so flippin' good, and it was gothic and dark. This would have been the perfect prompt for that one. So gothic dark. So that means like horror kind of? Horror vibes?
That one.
Read it. Okay, I am just letting Emry pick every book for this video apparently. But she's doing a good job. So this one is The Supernatural Enhancements. And I think that this is kind of gothic. If you look at the cover, there's like a gothic mansion. And in the book, this young girl inherits this mansion, I guess. But there's like really, really dark like things that has happened in this mansion in the past. And those people are coming back to haunt her. And the interesting thing about this book and why I ended up picking it up, well, the cover for one. This could have been the cover by choice, but it's because this is written sort of, I think, like House of Leaves. I kind of feel like the guy that wrote this was kind of trying to pull like inspiration from House of Leaves because it's written in like mixed media format. So you've got like all sorts of really interesting ways that this is written. I'll show you. So we've got like these weird pages. We've got like a maze right here. So this book is really, really weirdly written, and I think that that sounds really interesting. I just kind of want to try it out. Who knows if I like it? Like, I may DNF it. Like I said, my goals for this year is to DNF books that I'm not really into, so I may really like this, I may really not, but I think that it does have gothic vibes because it does take place in like a gothic, dark, haunted mansion. So we're gonna go with this one.
I wonder if you can actually do the names in the book.
Maybe. Ooh, the newest book that I bought. The newest book that I bought. That would be another fantasy. So that would be Frost by C.N. Crawford. Now, I've been wanting to read these for a long time because they're short, and this is a duology, and you guys know how I feel about duologies. I love them. And they're just short, quick little fantasies. So I'm actually excited for this because whenever I get a new book, I want to read them right away. That's just how I am. I think everyone is kind of like that. And so because I just bought this, I'm excited to read it. So I feel like out of all the fantasies that I have on my TBR, this might be the first one I pick up. So that was a pretty good prompt. I'm kind of excited for this one. And my sister-in-law actually read this duology and she said it was pretty good, so we'll see. It's a romantasy, so it's going to be pretty easy. Make this last one a good one, okay? A paperback. Boring! I'm just kidding. So, okay, so paperback. I have a lot of like paperback romances. That one?
Okay.
She picked that one. I don't know if I picked. That's another fantasy. I don't want another fantasy. I could do another romance. I can't pick a audiobook. Okay, so I picked this one fast. What does it say?
More Than Words.
More Than Words by Mia Sheridan. I love her. And this is part of like the Archer's Voice like companion novels, I think. And I read the first two, Archer's Voice, and the second one. I always forget what the second one is called. But this is the third one. And it's like trauma romance where like the characters are going through really hard times and stuff like that, which I kind of like because it's like higher stakes for like a contemporary, you know? So this one is going to be really good, I think. And I love me a good Mia Sheridan. And I really want to read this. So that is going to be my seventh and final book for my TBR. So we got, what did we get for my Kindle book? Oh, we got Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. That was my Kindle pick because it was the last book I added to my TBR. Who knows if I'll get to that one, we'll see. Then we got A Very Large Expansive Sea, which is my book for a book I kind of lost interest in. We got More Than Words for Paperback by Mia Sheridan. We got Frost, which is my last book that I purchased, and this is by C.N. Crawford. The Supernatural Enhancements, which is a Gothic, dark story. One True Loves, which was Chelsea's choice. And A Sorcery of Thorns, which was a pretty cover. So those are my books for my TBR this month. I feel like they're pretty good, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that this is like the TBR where I'm like, this is going to be a good month. This is a very random month where I have books where I just kind of haven't thought about them in a while. So we'll see how they go. Hopefully I get to a lot of these. We'll see. Right? Mm-hmm. Thanks for picking. High five. Say,
I missed.
Oh. Say thanks for watching.
No.
Okay. Bye guys. Say bye. Okay, you have to do my thumbnail with me. Stack the books. Okay.
I blinked.
Thank you.
Book it.
Have a wonderful day.